What is going on, my good people? It is Nathan Payne, and we got Benson Juarez. How you doing, Benson?
Awesome, bro. What's going on in your world?
I'm having a great day today, man. I woke up early, read some books, working. Yeah, man. How about you? How's your day been?
How many books did you read today?
I probably read for 30 pages. If you want to know the exact amount, I can tell you, but it's
No, that's good. I just like how you said it. I read some books.
I read a couple different books, but I didn't finish any of them.
That's good though, man. You're doing 99% more than the rest of us out there who want to read books.
I know it can be tough, guys. I know. I was there, but now I'm consistent with it. Thank goodness. And that's what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be showing you how to be consistent with using Privy, not only using Privy, but calling seller leads and how to talk to them. So Benson, just to let everyone know who you are and who I am, I'll start. My name's Nathan Payne, been in the business for about 6 years now, wholesale tons of deals. And my desire is to help you guys close more deals because I know how painful it can be to get leads and not be able to convert. And you're just sitting there like, man, what did I do wrong? That's what these calls are for. So you guys can learn how to convert more and do better. Benson, who are you?
Yeah, Benson Juarez, industry vet, been around a long time, done all kinds of different strategies, been in the real estate game for 20 years, prop tech, angel investing, got my hands in a little bit of everything, probably too much, right? I need to probably focus a little bit better, but I love these calls, right? Because we get to do real stuff. We really get to get in the weeds and talk to leads and agents, and that's what's so great about these calls.
Exactly, 100%. So today we're going to be going through the process of how do you start that. Let's say a lead comes in. What does that look like? Because I know with Privia, it's a lot of on market. That's usually what we use it for, but it also has a great comping tools. You can pull lists. You can do so much with it. So we're going to be showing you guys how I look at it quickly before I make a call, just so I kind of have a good idea. Now, the plan, that's what the plan is for today, is that we're going to call a lead specifically, but I'm going to show you what I look at to kind of be ready for that call. And our promise as always is we're going to make a call. We're going to make live calls. So you guys can see, am I going to freeze? Am I nervous on the phone? How do I talk? Let's see how it really goes down. All right. So Benson, today we're going to kind of go in depth and looking at deals, but I really don't look too much at the information before I make a call, mainly because they might not answer. So I don't want to waste my time like looking too in depth at information. I usually pull it up while I'm on the phone. I'm curious for you, if you ever get a lead, do you kind of try to analyze it a lot, or do you just make the call?
You know what? For on market, I do analyze it a little bit more in depth than something that's off market, because it's not so much a volume game. On market, it's really more about the numbers.
Right.
So with off market, like you could turn every lead into a deal with the right price. And I guess the same could be said for on market. But with on market, we already know they're motivated, so you don't have to search for the motivation. And we already know the price. So we don't have to worry about the process of doing all the partial closes along the way.
Right.
To get to a point where you can actually make an offer. You get rid of all that with on market. So
Sure.
it's easier to spend more time on the numbers and really make sure you're submitting an offer that has a high chance of being accepted.
I like it. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, right? And there's a lot of different strategies. But for me, right now, we're going to show you guys what I look at. But if you're one of those guys that are brand new in this business, don't just let the analysis paralysis stop you where you're like, well, let me look at it really good. Let me make sure I understand everything about it, because that can stop you. I know it can stop a lot of people that I've worked with. They just want to be 100% sure they know everything. And that's honestly impossible because, you got to get on that phone. So I am showing you guys what it looks like, but don't get it twisted. I'm not just doing this and it's not taking hours. It's literally taking minutes, right? Maybe even like 1 minute. So let's share my screen. Benson, can you see my screen right here?
I got it.
Okay. So this is a lead that got submitted, and hey, it is actually, according to this, it's active. So isn't that funny? It's a lead that we paid for that came in, but it's listed. Right. So this happens a lot. A lot of sellers who haven't been able to sell their homes actually list their properties. A lot of sellers who have their homes listed on the MLS will submit a form to a service where we buy houses for cash because they're like, man, this isn't moving. Let me see if a cash buyer can do it quickly.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they're just looking for multiple channels to get that thing off their books, right? They don't care if it sells through the MLS or if they have to sell it to somebody else.
Now, it says it's been active for 215 days. Now, that sounds like a lot. If they've been on the market for that long, they're probably extremely motivated. but maybe they can't drop it lower. I'm just assuming that maybe they can't drop it lower than any lower because they probably have a mortgage they have to pay off. They have the fees of listing it with the agent. There's got to be something going on if it has been listed for 215 days, right? And it hasn't moved.
Yeah, there's something going on there. I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's price.
Yeah,
That's the main thing, right?
of
Is
course.
price. So they haven't met the market price yet for where the real demand is for that kind of property.
Exactly. So for me, that's pretty quick. I can look and say, hey, it's been on market for a long time. It hasn't moved. And the cool thing about it is a townhome. So comps are pretty easy to come by. You can see in the solds, if we go down here to the comparables, we can kind of see, yeah, most of these homes that are selling, these townhomes are going to be in the 240 to 260 range ARV, because they're not going to vary too much since they're all the same. And these look like newer builds too, 2021. That's 2 years old. So this is not usually something where I'd see this, Benson, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing opportunity, because we have to add value when we buy homes for cash, whether that's fixing it up or providing value to the seller where we can get it at a good deal. So let's call the seller. Let's see what we can do. But I'm not too hopeful on this one. On being able to get a cash
creative,
offer.
right? Like there may be, depending upon the rents, like this might be a good property for subject to or seller finance.
Well, you actually, you took the words out of my mouth. That's actually the play that would be here, right? Is I'm assuming they, they owe pretty close to what they're asking for. So maybe there isn't a lot of equity for a cash offer, but there's still a play on creative. So let me call this lady. Her name's Jacqueline. Let's see what we can get done. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see. And we already know that a lot of people don't answer their phone when they don't know who's calling. So I usually already expect to call 2 or 3 times in a row. Okay. Then little hang up action. No problem.
It wouldn't be the first time you called a woman and she hung up.
No, not even. My wife will hang up on me sometimes, if she's busy. Let's see. So this number that I'm calling, it hung up twice, but this time it's ringing.
Your call has been forwarded.
Ooh,
to
interesting.
Message system 401.
I was starting to think the number didn't work.
559 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Jacqueline, my name's Nathan. I'm calling because you submitted some information about the property on Brigade Trail in Pensacola, Florida. If you give me a call back, I'd appreciate it. I'll also send you a text and an email just so you have my contact info. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's interesting, Benson. She didn't answer. Well, hung up twice, but then it went through on the third. So looks like it's a real number.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So what did you say her name was?
Her name is Jacqueline.
Okay.
Would that be, we can actually look in Privy and see who the listing agent is. Let me see.
Well, so based on public records, that is the owner of record.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's in the public records section. If you go down on the bottom of that CMA.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, yeah, then it is the right owner. Jacqueline. Yep. That's it. Cool. Well, guys, so at this point, you call 3 times, you send a text and you send an email. And if they don't respond, you follow up, right? You do another hour or so. Now, what would the game plan be, right? For me, just to kind of let you guys know, because, I'm not going to be on here for an hour with you guys. When I call her, my goal would just be to say, hey, I've noticed this is the information I've seen. You filled out some information. You want to sell the house. Can you let me know a little bit more about the situation? That's my goal is I don't really want to talk too much about the house. I don't want to talk too much of go too in depth. I want to know what's going on and how can I help? And that's kind of how I approach conversations, because you're always looking for the win-win. When I'm trying to talk to sellers, I'm always looking for what is your end in mind? What's the goal? And obviously they want to sell, and how can I help you get there? I might not be your best option, but I can for sure, talking to me is going to help you get there, or at least closer to there, even if we don't do business together. So that's how I approach my conversations. There's zero pressure at all, because, if you treat everyone with love and respect and you want them to succeed, even though that might not be doing a deal with you, what goes around comes around. Maybe they have a referral, maybe they have a friend, or that's just the right way to do business, in my opinion. You can't strong arm someone into accepting working with you, right? Because it's all about trust. So yeah, Benson, that was kind of a quicker call today, because we don't want to have to go too in depth. Really, I just want you guys, everybody that's on here, to know, using Privy, which I'll go back and I'll show you. Let's see. You can find out a lot of good information just immediately just by looking at the property, right? Okay, it's active.
Yep.
They've already price dropped it. You can see that who filled out the form. You were saying, Benson, the information is down here here under, did you
Yep.
say assessor's records? Is that where you were saying
Yep.
it was? Yeah. So you can see right here who it is. And on this one, we can just, I'm assuming we're going to have to go creative just because cash is, they're probably not going to be able to get it low enough. Cause if we ran a cash offer on this thing, I'll show you guys how I run a cash offer on this pretty quickly.
Oh, the calculator. And also too, with the rents in there, I saw the rental data. It's going the exact same units going for $19.95 on the rental comps. So that's where the rents are going to be for a property that's exactly like this one.
Right. And it really would depend on just what the mortgage is, right? Like if it could cash flow on it or if it would make sense. But a lot of people, they don't need a cash flow necessarily. So that's a good point. So for this one, let's say the ARV is 260, just from what we've been seeing. And they're asking 254. I'll just show you guys that. Obviously, that's not a deal, but just so you guys can see what it looks like. If you were to pay cash for this, put the money down 12%, 2 points, and list it with a real estate agent, and let's say just needed $5,000 of light paint and carpet, that's not really going to get you too far, 5,000. But let's just say that if you bought it, obviously you're going to lose 28. You're going to lose money. So you would need, in order for you to make money on this deal, you'd have to get it. Let's see. I'm just assuming. Okay, so if you got a 180 and you just flipped it yourself, you're going to have a great return. But let's see if we got it down to 215. Okay, so that's a 5%. That's, nobody's getting excited about that. So let's go 200. Okay, I could see a flipper being willing to do this if it's such a light rehab or just basically a wholesale deal. And you could stick in, let's see, 5. Yeah, someone would probably do that. A lot of flippers are willing to do something between like an 8 to 10 if it's not a lot of work. But if they're not even able to go that low, then, obviously a wholesale offer or flip is going to be out of the question. So you're going to have to take it and go creative, and you're going to have to run the numbers like Benson was saying, where you got to see if the rents are going to enable you to have a cash flow or cash on cash return. So anyway, that's how I do it, Benson. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that because it's such a new mortgage, there's not going to be any equity. Chances of them putting down 20% or something like that is, that's not real. Actually, you know what? I wanted to see something real quick. It doesn't say it. I was going to see if it said owner occupied or non-owner. Looks like it's owner occupied. So yeah, she probably didn't have to put down a bunch of money on it. But if $2,000 would be what the rents would be. So if you can get the mortgage to be lower than that, then there might be a reason for doing it. But I don't know if this is an area that's appreciating it at a higher rate or if it's just a cash flow scenario. Obviously you can get the depreciation, but cash flow and appreciation are going to be the two main revenue drivers.
Love it. Well, Benson, thanks again for being here with me as we do these calls. It's always kind of fun to show people what the real business looks like versus like the flashy checks that everyone sees. Well, this is what gets you to those points you got to go through. You got to look at deals. You got to make calls. And you got to figure out what's your exit strategy. So Benson, thanks again. Is there anything you want to say to our people before we take off?
No, just like what Nathan was saying, you guys, consistency is the key. Make those calls. Don't distract yourself with the numbers. That's why Nathan made the point earlier that he doesn't run numbers on off-market deals until after he's made the call, right? A lot of times people will distract themselves with running numbers. So they don't have to make calls and they like, oh my God, I ran out of time. I can't make any calls today because you spend a bunch of time in the system not talking to people.
100%. You get the deals from talking to people and seeing how you can help them achieve their end in mind. Right? How you can help them get what they want. All right, Benson. Well, we're out of here, everybody. Brother. Thanks for coming, Benson, and we'll see you next week. All right.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's Nathan Payne. And for the first time ever, we just released this insane training bundle that has literally everything that I've learned from doing a combined 4,000 deals in real estate, all from starting with absolutely no previous business background experience or any real estate experience. Plus, there's over $19,000 worth of free gifts that we're throwing in, all for an insanely low price. If you want to get your hands on this, be sure to click the first link on the description below right now.